What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video, on SportsCenter, they're going to be talking about who deserves to be the NBA MVP this year, Giannis Antetokounmpo or LeBron James. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Lisa, we make the tough pivot to the matter of basketball, where we learned on Saturday all individual regular season trophies will be based on results completed before the July 30th restart. That means battle for Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and MVP ended more than 4 months ago when the season was first suspended because of COVID-19.
All right, so that means everything's locked up at this point in time. So I expect Rookie of the Year to be Ja Morant. If it's not Ja Morant, then I hope it's not Zion Williamson. I like Zion Williamson. He's a beast and everything that goes along with that. But he played, maybe a little over a quarter of the season? And there's no way you can be Rookie of the Year if you only played a little over a quarter of the season. Ja Morant has been consistent all year with killing it. Now, if you want to talk about the MVP, I got to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo because he's been doing more with less, and he's absolutely been killing it. He has his team in the number one spot overall and in the Eastern Conference. Now, if you look at LeBron James has been balling this year too. He's been absolutely killing it. But I would say if LeBron James were to sit it down, the Lakers would still be okay for the most part with Anthony Davis, Kuzma, Dwight Howard, and all those other and McGee and all those other guys. But I can't necessarily say that for the Milwaukee Bucks, because if Giannis Antetokounmpo were to sit it down, I don't think they'd be the same team, be with the same type of caliber team that they'd be with him. But like I said, I think the Bucks are. Giannis is the only player of his cloth on that team, and I think he deserves the MVP. So let's continue.
Lisa, as it relates to the MVP, it would seem that this would favor Giannis. But what are you hearing in the bubble from Lakerland?
Yeah, Kevin. Well, Bucks head coach Mike Budenholzer made it clear that, he thinks his guy should be the MVP. And he said it before, and he's saying it again. He thinks that Giannis has done enough to win the MVP award again this year. And when you look at the numbers, you certainly can't argue he's right. But Lakers head coach Frank Vogel, he makes a pretty compelling point. Vogel said that nobody impacts winning more than LeBron James. I asked Frank Vogel.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
About that last weekend of basketball before the world turned upside down. I was courtside for those Lakers games against Giannis and the Bucks on Friday, March 6th, and then again against Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers on that Sunday. And Frank Vogel reminded me that LeBron James took on the toughest defensive assignments in both of those games, guarding Giannis and Kawhi at times. And he reminded me that not only did LeBron James do a great job defensively on those two guys, he still dominated on the offensive end of the floor. Kevin, I remember leaving Los Angeles that Sunday thinking that not only was it a statement weekend for the Lakers, but it was a statement weekend for LeBron James as well.
Yeah, it was definitely. And LeBron James definitely took care of business against the Clippers and the Milwaukee Bucks. But you can still argue that, the Clippers are still 2-1 against the Lakers up. And I think against Milwaukee, the Lakers are, 1-1. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. But you can still say that, LeBron James doesn't necessarily have the complete upper hand on either of those teams. So definitely you can go with, what have you done lately? And LeBron James has beat them lately. But still, you can still make a pretty good argument. And as far as what Frank Vogel said, I think LeBron James is definitely valuable to his team, obviously. But I think Giannis Antetokounmpo is a lot more valuable to the Milwaukee Bucks. Because like I said, if you take away Giannis Antetokounmpo, that team, the Bucks are, borderline trash. But you can't necessarily say that with the LA Lakers. Like I said, with, Anthony Davis and Kuzma and all of the guys, Dwight Howard and all that. So, I don't know. Let's continue.
But I don't get to vote.